Why should we pursue purpose now? And I want to start by just sharing a little bit. During the pandemic, I had a number of friends who came to me. Again, they knew that I was coaching and I was helping people. And a number of friends came to me and started to ask whether or not I had something to share because they had a lot of friends who were feeling very lost during the pandemic. And they just needed to find their purpose. They needed to find some perspective. And it started to happen where I start to see more and more people looking for the same thing. And the reality is, especially for a lot of us here in China, in the last few years, we've talked a lot about things like involution. We've talked about lying flat. We've talked a lot about depression. Either ourselves or people that we know around us, we're seeing a lot of people fall into depression every day. And the reality is that the world that we live in today is feeling more lost and more hopeless and even more helpless. And I think that that is probably the best way to describe where a lot of us feel today. Like we know that this is a big and changing world. And a lot of us know also that we can only lead our own lives. No one else is going to be able to lead our lives for us. But the question is, how do we do it? A lot of us are feeling helpless. And I think a lot of us are also feeling lonely because this is such an important question for us. We're struggling and grappling with it, and yet it's very rare for us to find other people to talk to about these most important things in our lives. And so again, this is partly why we developed Purpose Accelerator for now. It's because we are in an environment where again finding purpose becomes so important to combat what we're feeling and what we're seeing in the world around us. We want to be able to look at our life and see a world full of opportunity and a world full of meaning instead of a world full of dead ends. And that's what we hope to do. And that's what we have done with many people as they've gone through the Purpose Accelerator, really build on the idea of being resilient and exploring what resilience really is for you. And this is something that we have had so many amazing success stories and amazing breakthroughs around people really learning and feeling, how to live a resilient life and a thriving life. And so these are the things that we are trying to offer at the Purpose Accelerator. And we feel like this is the time, as we've been coming out of the pandemic, as we're seeing a whole different world that we're facing, now's the time that we need to really look and build into our personal purpose. And so, to summarize that, personal purpose is not about finding a job or a career. Yes, in this process, you might have greater clarity or even a greater revelation about what might be your future career. Absolutely. But if I were to define personal purpose or purpose, it's really about what truly represents you and represents you in your fullness. It's truly about what are your greatest hopes for this world. If you were to hope for this world something, what would that be? And what is that expression of you if you were to be in your fullest? And that's what we want to help journey with you to help you explore. Purpose is really about seeing yourself clearly. And it's really about making sense of your life right now. And it's really through acquiring your personal purpose, exploring it, it'll help you to quiet all the noise and the distractions around you. It'll help you clarify, again, who you are, but also who you're not. And in that way, it'll give you confidence in your decision making. I know a lot of us struggle with decision making. We don't know how to make decisions. We doubt our decisions. A lot of that comes from a lack of clarity about what is important to us, why we're doing what we're doing, what are our values that drive us. And so these are the things that we are hoping to discover with you at the Purpose Accelerator. And so the reason why we want to pursue our purpose right now is the other reality is that it takes time. It's not like we're going to discover our purpose in one day. It is actually an ongoing journey. The Purpose Accelerator is trying to equip you with the tools so that you can constantly clarify and discover your purposes. You are always growing. Your life is a long life. You will continue to change, and the world will continue to change around you. And so it's not about simply giving you an answer today, because tomorrow might change and you might change too. The priority is to teach you the tools so that you can always have the process of renewing your purpose and renewing yourself. And that's what we really are hoping to equip you with. And in doing that, you'll be able to alleviate the stress. You'll be able to see where you are and what you're doing. Find your next steps. I'll tell you, for myself, it has been a product of decades of constant purpose finding. I'm constantly renewing my purpose as I grow and as I change. And I think that this is what it is for you. And so we want to start today. It takes time. And also, you have a long life. If going to the moon, right? If you calculate going to the moon, it's a long distance. If you start by like a small degree difference today, it ends up being like hundreds or thousands of miles difference later on. And so the earlier you start to course correct, the earlier you start to know how to kind of correct yourself to your North Star, the better your journey will be. And that's what we're hoping for you. So that's why we want to start today, because it is about your life. It's about the fulfillments and the satisfaction of you living out your days. And so that's why we really want to work with you doing this now.